Alright, thank you for watching. Today of my miniature base tutorial, I'll be talking about how to create tiles terrain using epoxy putty. Check it out. Alright, welcome back, Kit here. So let's start the tutorial for today, which is building the tiles base terrain. So before I start, I'll tell you the material that's needed. So I have the base down here, which I'll be using. Right, I have some sculpting tools, a bunch of paints down here, right, water of course, and of course the most important one of highlight of the day will be the epoxy putty. So as the title shows, for this base what I will be doing is that I will be using the epoxy putty. So for people who don't know what is an epoxy putty, so what it is really a clay-like substance. The most common one that people might know is like those clay that you need to use water to make into pottery, or maybe one of the popular ones for the handicraft will be the polymer clay. So for polymer clay, after you have sculpt it, you will need to put into the oven for baking for a short period of time. So those are one of the very popular ones right now, but because we'll be sticking on to this base down here, so this base cannot be used to put in the oven. If you wanted to really use, if you don't have epoxy putty and you have some polymer clay at home, you can do it separately, not on a base, separately on another sheet or something. Then you can bake it, then when it's ready, then you can paste it on. That does work also, but I think for me, I will be using the epoxy putty. So epoxy putty is that you do not need any baking at all, right? That is the cool thing about it. You just need to make it, leave it out, and it will get cured within a period of time. Usually it wouldn't take too long, so within a day then it should be fully cured already. So usually epoxy putty, right, you come with a hardener and a softener, right? So this brand is Magic Sculpt. I bought it from one of my local store. So there's two type of epoxy putty that I really use on, but for today's tutorial I'll be using on this one, which I'll usually use it for when I need more quantity, right? So what you do first is that you open up. Usually there is, so first thing we'll do is that we'll open up, right? So when you open up, this is the hardener and this is the softener, right? Usually it will always come with two different color depending what are you using. One of the very popular one that people use for sculpting is also green stuff for epoxy putty. You can check it out also. So what you need is really to just to estimate a quantity that we need to paste it on to the base, right? You don't need a lot. Even if you use it a lot, it's okay. You can sculpt it later. So essentially I'm doing a 50-50 mix. Depending on the mix itself, then it will determine how hard your putty is, right? I'm using a 50-50 mix. So the amount should be about the same, right? I will add on a bit more down here to make it harder a little bit more, because all the epoxy putty that's currently on the market right now, they really come with different softness or hardness after you mix it. For this Magic Sculpt, usually it is quite soft, so that's why I'm putting a bit more hardener, but usually I will do a 50-50. So as you see now, I'm still mixing it, so you just need to really pinch up and mix everything together, right, until it is mixed and you get like a new form of color, and that is where it is mixed already. So this is more or less mixed already. So what we'll do is that we'll stick on to this base down here. So see, So just spread it out. Try to spread out evenly as much as you can. If you cannot do it, but that's fine too. Just try your best. Right. You can even use a roller, which I have. Let me get one. Yes, this is a roller. So what I will do, usually I'll put on a baking sheet on top of the roller itself. Right, this is the sheet that people use to bake for cakes. So why is because that usually for epoxy putty, right, it will stick onto your hand or anything easily, more easy than polymer clay and stuff. So when you're doing like more detailed parts and stuff, I usually put on a baking sheet over it so that it doesn't get stick on, right? So you just need to roll it out a bit, make it a bit even. A bit more. Yep, around this will do, right? So what I have right now is that I will take off all this excess on the side, right? Just peel it off. Don't need to worry about it being very neat because in the end we'll be doing a bit more of sculpting on the base. Just to provide enough coverage on the whole base, right? So at this point, something like this will do. So if you, for people who are doing first time on epoxy putty or even polymer clay, sometimes when we get contact with it, right, you will see fingerprint. If you can see it, right, there's some fingerprint marks down here, deliberately press on it. So sometimes when you're handling, you're bound to have this type of fingerprint marks, right? But not to worry, what I have is this water down here. So what you do is that you just dab a little bit on your finger, just a little bit will do. Then you just rub it on the epoxy putty. This will smoothen out all the edges and all the fingerprints. When you get hardened or treated, right, you won't see the fingerprint. Yep, this is how you would do it. Okay, let's put it back. So what we'll need to do right now is to sculpt out the tiles, okay, which is why this sculpting tool is here for. Right. What we'll do is that we'll draw lines across, right? Okay. So you just need to, you don't need to, you can measure the tiles you want. For me, I will just use estimate, right? So what I will do is that I'll estimate about this, right? Then I'll draw one line, right? Then I'll, using about the same distance, draw another line. So eventually I'll do this for all across. You see that some of the line get pulled when you're doing, so you need to be careful, right? But it's okay. Just need to go on a bit more. So you can just put your sculpting tool inside all the edges inside to push it back and forth. Do not worry, you don't need to be like exactly very straight down here. At least for me it doesn't matter. So you can see sometimes when I put it in, right, it get pulled out also because it's sticking onto my blade. As I said that usually epoxy putty is very sticky. So one of the tricks you can do is that you can dab some water on your sculpting tool also, so that it does not stick, right? Since now that just now when I just started, I didn't dab because it should stick on the base more, but now that the individual cubes are out, the individual tiles are out, then you start to stick it onto my this sculpting tool down here. How you want the tiles to be, it's really up to you, right? So you can, for people who don't like the edges to be a lot wider, you want it to smooth out more, you can sculpt even more, use more time on it. So I want to smooth out all the edges. Some of you might like the edges because it looks more like a, maybe you wanted a rock surface type of tiles, then it's fine. For me, I want it to be a more smoother one, so I'll use the water to smooth out the surface. Right? So what I have here is another sculpting tool. This is silicone. So silicone, usually all this epoxy putty or any clay will not stick to silicone itself. So it's good to work around when you wanted to smooth things out, right? Because all these edges are rubbery, so it's easier to smooth the edges or things out easily for sculpting. Right, so different from a blade, that if you are using this type of silicone type when you're drawing line with this, then your lines will be not so deep, will not be so sharp. Usually it will be more smoother. So I'm going in to really push out the epoxy putty to make it more straight. You can see it can also be, the edges can also be smoothened using it. Eventually what I want is that I want to have a more smoother edge, so that's why I'm using this down here. Of course you can use your hand and stuff to do it, but this will be a faster one for me, and I'm used to this tool too. After I smooth out everything, then I will proceed on to the next stage, which is priming everything. So in this case, as this base I'm doing is for the RX78. So RX78, the main colors of it will be yellow, red, blue, and white. In this case, I have this white down here, right? Why is it a spray paint? Because what I want is that I wanted to base coat everything in white first, right? Then I will start to build on the tiles using these three colors. Okay, I wanted to use the original color of RX78 for the base, right? So when we come back, I should have this cured maybe a few hours later. So after it's fully cured, I will spray paint this over it, so everything will be in white. So when we come back, it will be done. Then we will do the coloring together, right? See you later. Alright, welcome back again. So as you can see, the epoxy putty is already cured, so it's hard already. So I have also sprayed a layer of white base coat over it. So you can see that some parts are scraped off because when I finished when it was cured, so I scraped off some of the excess part down here. So this was accidentally came off too, but not to worry. It's just a small base coat. That is not the main color. I just want to fill up some of the gaps, but I'll be using like other things to fill up painting later. So let's get on with the painting. So I'll be painting yellow first. So I'll be going through the layers. While waiting for it to dry, before I apply the second layer, I will go add the other colors into. Basically, this will be the colors. After I paint a few more layers, tidy up a bit, then I will come back again. Now I'll fast forward because right now blue paint down here is out from the pot itself. I think it's a bit too watered down, too thin for this bottle. Usually their colors isn't so watered down, but for this pot itself, there's some problem. Maybe my handling and stuff like that. But I will need to go through a few more layers. Same for the red and yellow, I will still go through a few more layers and tidy up. Usually what I'm painting, I paint real near to my face, you know. So this is a bit far from me, so that's why I'm causing a bit of difficulties. But it's okay, because I'm still doing a few more layers, so I'll fast forward from here too. Maybe the blue, if it's still too watered down, I might add another blue to it, right, to really highlight everything on top of it before I come back, right? Then yeah, then I'll paint the base down here black, right? Alright, welcome back again. So I have fully painted. This is how it looks like. So what it is like this blue down here. As I said, that the blue wasn't very good, so what I did was that I painted it using another type of blue, which is this. It's the ultramarine watercolor from Vallejo. So I use this to paint on the blue on it. So after painting on it, so I use back just now the life color blue from life color and paint over it so that it get 2 layers, so that it get more coverage at the under layer. And so now this is how it looks like. So another changes was that for the just now, if you see this 4 cube outer cube, right, is yellow, but initially what I wanted was the base color was all white, right, because I wanted below all the gaps to have the white, so that it really also show one of RX-78 colors. But after all this color was painted, you can still see a bit down below, but I think it's too little. I still want to bring out the white because white is really the main overall color for the Gundam itself, right? So what I did was that I painted all these 4 cube the initial yellow into white. And so now all this color is the basic 4 colors from the RX-78. So now we'll move on to the next step. So what I'll do next is that, as I always do, I love it, is to add ink, right? Or this streaking, or you can use normal ink that you use for like the panel lining, right? Either one is fine. After adding a bit, I also add this panel lining a bit too, because I see that the streaking it doesn't have a lot of dirt, so I want this ink to be into. Yep, I want this type of dirt type of color, right? So what I'll do is to use a brush to get the ink. Yep, this is the effect I want. I want the dirt, I want it to seep through, right? Just be random and hit every part of the paint. So now it started to dry already, you can see, right? Usually this lining dry quite fast, so not to worry, right? So now the second part of the weathering, which I'll be using dry brushing, as always one of my favorite technique. We'll try to go into the gap and also flick it up, because for this one you can see that it always capture on all the outer but not the inner, so we'll just try to go in more and flick. So what I'm doing right now, the last step, is that after I've highlighted all the edges, right, some of the highlights I think that is a bit too harsh. So what you do is to dab in some water and soften the harshness of the whole paint. Okay, take a look. Yep, this is good enough for me, right? I'll wait for it to dry a little bit more, then I think it's almost done, right? Then this will be the base for the RX-78. So like I can press a button, right? Yep, this tutorial is long. Right, that will be all. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of this base, or anything you do not know, or you think that I can improve on it. Just let me know in the comment. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, or share. And anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.